Political parties across the spectrum may differ on how South Africa should combat the scourge, but they are all on the same page. Violence against women and children in this country must stop, and men need to take responsibility for their actions.
Who are committing most of these crimes against women and children? Men are. And that is why it is important that we talk to men and boys. I think the president expressed it best when he said, and I quote, "It's a problem of men. Our young men and boys are daily exposed to patriarchal attitudes and practices and are often encouraged to prove their masculinity through domination and violence."
GBVF is not an issue women should bear the responsibility of fixing, yet here we are. It is women who are at the forefront of this fight, while men often take a supportive role. This is so absurd if you think about it. If men stopped the violence, we would not live in a country with one of the highest GBVF rates in the world. In the second quarter alone, we have seen over 10,000 rapes being reported, over 1,500 sexual assaults, over 200 domestic violence murder charges, and over 7,000 domestic violence cases. And this is only what has been reported.
We should question our complexity within the systems of violence. Do we contribute to or oppose violence with our actions, words, or silence? We often experience in this very august house a culture of instigation, division, violence, racism, and insults, which then send a signal to the public at large that this type of behavior is the norm in South Africa.
The ACDP fully supports men being people of strength with integrity and kindness, where women and children can look up to husbands, fathers, and men in general as people they can trust, not to harm them. But this does not happen by wishing. Each man has a mission to change.
We are of the view that men should play a critical role in curbing GBV, and the UDM calls on the Department of Youth, Women and Persons with Disability, Social Development, SABC, and other relevant stakeholders to collaborate in strengthening educative programs aimed at educating men in particular about GBV.
Between July and September, 881 women were murdered in this country. And during the same period, 1,514 attempted murders of women victims occurred in the country. We have to break this cycle. And as we go into December, a time of festivities, we must remember these figures and realize that 2024 must be better and different. For this to change, we need to reform, action, education, and a cultural shift.
You talk about women and children, but right in full view of you, women and children are being abused and massacred. Mothers can't give birth because there's no anesthetic. Okay, they are long overdue. Is it all because of this? Is this what it is all about? Is this what it is all about? You've sold your principles and your souls?
Our government has to show an interest in walking the talk by investing in gender-based violence prevention in hotspot areas. Without funding and active policy execution, we will be running on the same spot, and countless women will have suffered the trauma of violence at the hands of their male counterparts. We need demonstrable action on the part of government.
The PAC would not take part in the debate, saying it has been an ongoing discussion for years, yet the situation does not improve.
My next speaker is Honorable Nyoto.
No, Honorable Speaker, I'm not debating.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable. How can you not debate with 16 days of activism?
It's because I've been debating it for the past 4 years and there's nothing changing. We must behave as men only. We've been talking every day in this parliament.
Okay, then. Thank you, Honorable Nyoto.
House Speaker Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula reminded MPs that President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed a continental body of men on these very issues. Ramaphosa spoke at the 3rd African Union Men's Conference on Positive Masculinity. He said the focus of the meeting is on men and boys doing more to rid the world of GBV. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.